How's everybody doing? Welcome to the live stream. Got a couple viewers in. Hit me on the chat. Let me know where you're coming in from. Coming to you from Nash, Vegas. I think I've got all my live stream issues worked out, figured out. It only took me about 4 or 5 to get it all worked out. Hey, Oklahoma City, I hear you. Stephen Long, thanks for being here, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Thanks a lot. You know, you are my very first commenter on my live stream since I started these, which has only been a couple weeks, so I appreciate it. That's pretty awesome. Congrats to you. Thank you very much. Thanks for being on the channel. How long have you been a subscriber? And I guess what was the first video that you saw from me? What was the first one that hit your timeline? 3 weeks. Okay. Do you remember which video it was? The first one you saw? Three weeks ago. Let me see if I can. We got drilled here in Nashville. The ice storm was bad. I'm south of Nashville in the Brentwood, Franklin area, and we got hammered pretty bad. As a matter of fact, I just shot a video, I guess it was yesterday afternoon, and I was walking, there's this little route that I walk, and almost every house, the curb has branches and stumps and tree limbs and you name it, this all over literally every house. And apparently the city around here is going to be coming in to clean a lot of that up, so you just leave it at the curb, which that's pretty nice. So you guys got a bunch of snow, didn't you, over in Oklahoma before the ice got us? I think you guys had quite a bit of snow, if I remember. But yeah, we went out, my family, we walked the neighborhood the morning that the ice was really kicking in. It started overnight, early wee hours of the morning, but by the time we woke up, it was a disaster. 8 to 10 inches of snow in Oklahoma City. Wow. I bet it's been a long time since you've seen that much snow. We moved from Georgia up here to Tennessee, and my wife wanted a little bit more of the change of scenery and the seasons. So that we definitely got it moving up here. But it still gets hot here in Tennessee in the summertime. We're still south, but it does get a little colder here. And we had a good bit of snow last year. We got about 5 inches or so last winter here in Tennessee. So we're coming up on our second year up here. So you got any questions for me? Hopefully we'll get a few more people on the live stream, but I appreciate you being here. You're the very first one from Oklahoma City. I love it. That's great. I'll just share with you some things that I found, some interesting stuff. So I don't know if you've been watching my videos. Yeah, the 3 things that I cover are basically tech, money, and life. Those are the 3 things. As a Gen Xer, I'm 52, so I've been around a while, and so I've got a lot of experience in real estate and Bitcoin. Where do I see Bitcoin going in July? Let's look at it. July. So you're talking 6 months out? I think that we're getting close to a bottom. From what I see out there, I've got gold pulled up, but let me get to Bitcoin. So let's go to Bitcoin let's go to the daily. So yeah, we're not good right now. We've got this bear indicator here, and we just can't seem to catch a break. We've got to basically hold up 60,000. I mean, that's just the reality of it. We're at 67. I mean, we tried to get back above 70 here in the last few days, and there's just no momentum right now. But I will tell you this: Bitcoin is severely oversold. So the big investments I'm looking at right now, actually, there's four. One is Bitcoin, one is gold, one is silver, and then tech equities. So tech, ETF, stocks, kind of throw all that into one. Just kind of bundle. There's so much tech, I just kind of bundle it into one. Those are the four things that I primarily keep my eyes on. And right now, so take the tech equities and kind of stocks and stick them to the side for now. My biggest three, tech would be my fourth. So in order, I like Bitcoin number one right now. As far as if I'm investing, I like Bitcoin right now number one. I like silver, probably gold just to buy hair, and then silver, and then I'm gonna have to go with the tech equities would be my last. By July, I think we'll probably be turned around by then. Because look, here's the deal: we got midterms coming up. Trump and the Republicans, they're going to want something good. And there's a lot of negativity right now. And he's kind of hung his hat on 401ks, the stock market, crypto, and it's not doing very well right now. So he's got a vested interest to see this stuff turn around. The tech and equities and the stock market is still doing pretty good. It's holding its head up. Gold and silver have, they're just kind of chopping along. But I've got a video coming out tomorrow that's an interesting video about, the amount of silver out there, and how much is available to be had, and it's not much. And so I like silver a lot. Bitcoin, you'll probably see Bitcoin starting to recover towards the last part of this year because of the midterms, and we're severely oversold. There's only so many sellers. I mean, it's starting to exhaust itself at this point, in my opinion. I think if we get into the 50s, I think 50 is our bottom. And we're not far from it right now. I mean, heck, end of this week, we could be at 50. But we could also, at the end of this week, we could be back at 90. So there's no telling. But I think we've sold off pretty fast. But I mean, Bitcoin's going to come back. There's no doubt about it. I've been in this too long I've just seen it. I've ridden through the waves 2 or 3 times now. Been in crypto since, I guess it's been about 6 years now. I got in it at the peak of the last bull run, just going, not the peak, but just before the peak. And my timing wasn't the best, and being a tech guy, that was a little shocking to me. I was a little disappointed I got in late because Bitcoin, crypto's tech, and it's right up my alley. But I kind of was like a lot of other people, just discounted it. It's just, that stuff's not going to go anywhere. The dollar's superior, and look at what happened. I saw it go all the way up to 69,000 and then go all the way back down to 15, 16, and then rode it all the way back up, all the way to 126, and now I'm riding it right back down to what are we at now? 67,488. So overall crypto, it's ugly, man. I mean, look at this. I mean, Bitcoin year to date's down to almost 23%. Ethereum's down 34%. If you're holding altcoins right now, which I've got them, I mean, you're just getting hammered. And right now, Bitcoin and maybe some Ethereum and a little bit of Solana, that's about the extent of it for me. A lot of these altcoins are probably not going to come back after this after this wave, unfortunately. You got any other questions for me? I didn't really answer your July. I hate to make a prediction, but what the heck? We'll probably be back at 100 grand. That's my hope. That's my hopium. That's my hopium. But you got to think though. So that's March, April, June, July. I mean, so that's like 4 or 5 months from now. I mean, if it goes up to 100, if it starts going to there, you got to think it's going past 126. But that would be a very fast recovery out of a bear market. The last bear market we had, let's look at it. If I go here and look at this, we go to the weekly. I mean, this thing lasted forever. Yeah, I got in right in here. This is when I got right in here. This little dip right here. Rode it all the way up. April of 2021. And then lost. I was scared to death. Like, what have I done? I'll never forget it. I was coaching a volleyball tournament. And I woke in when I was going to bed, I saw it start diving. And it was my first experience of seeing something, a red candle wick that hard, that fast. And then woke up the next morning and I had lost 40-50% of my money, literally overnight, on paper, unrealized. And I was like, oh my gosh, what have you done? You're such an idiot. But then hung on, and because I had invested in stocks and equities prior to that. So, and I saw the 08, 09, and, you know, I've seen crashes and lost money in crashes on paper. And they always came back. So I just chilled out, and then I started investing back in pretty heavy in this area right here. And then rode it all the way to 69. And everybody was calling for 100,000, and it never made it. And we fell all the way back. This time here was miserable. You're talking about from November of 2021, I'll remember we were euphoric. And all the way until we started turning this right here, this strong bull in 2023. So 2 years. 2 years. That was awful. But to hear the folks who've been in crypto longer than me, to hear them talk, that was nothing compared to 2017, 2018. So, but then, you know, I'm still up a lot on my Bitcoin. So I'm okay. Even though we've taken this hit. I see you got another question here. What's a reasonable silver stack to have? So I got a video coming out. I'm probably going to post it tomorrow. If I was going to coach somebody to get silver right now, I would say shoot for 100 ounces minimum. That would be the goal. In my video that comes out tomorrow, you'll see why. It's interesting you bring that up because it's going to line up right with that. So 100 ounces. The more the better, right? I did a video on... if you go look at my channel, go into the history I did, let's see, it was Christmas Day. It's like the best video I ever had. It had 20 something thousand views, 25,000 views in like just a couple days. It was my first video that popped off. And I did a brackets. If you hold this much silver, I had brackets for it. I don't remember what they were, but they were like 5 or 6 brackets. And so that video got hundreds of comments on it. And there's people with 5,000 ounces, 6,000 ounces, 10,000. There were people that, statistically rare, right? That was kind of the joke. And then people were commenting statistically rare. So yeah, if you're up in that neighborhood, you're statistically rare. But I'll tell you, if you've got 100 ounces of silver, you're in a very, very small group of people that have that. So, Yeah, and I'd say this too. Any amount of silver is at this point is good. Look, it's the dollar, man. The dollar, which kind of kills me. All this selling off that we're seeing. I mean, what are you selling for? I mean, what are you selling into? You're just selling back into the lousy U.S. dollar. It just doesn't make any sense to me. But they say dollar's still king. I guess so. But when I look at the data and the numbers, I don't see that. So, and we'll cover some of that right here. There's some stuff. If you're into AI or not, either way, whether you're into AI or not, I don't know if you're active on X. I'm Gen X guy on X if you use X, but there's an article out here by this Matt Schumer guy. You need to go read this. I mean, this thing here talking about AI, and I don't know what you do for a living, but this article here, I saw this and was mind blown. And I'm in tech, and I use AI all the time, every day. And so I understand the power of it, but when you read this, it validates all the things that you thought would be the case with AI, or it may even enlighten you on what you might not have known about AI. But it's a long article, but it's worth the read. And it's had 4,400 comments, 80,000 likes. It's been reposted 26,000 times. I mean, it's had 58 million views. It's a good read. If you've got kids, grandkids, kids in school or going to college, it'll definitely make you think about where you're going and what you're doing. So that's one thing. Check that article out. I saw this too, the U.S. housing market. I've been in real estate tech for 25, 30 years now. And where the housing market's going to continue to struggle. I know there's a lot of debate, and I get into it with people in chats and comments, but I've seen this real estate, and I know this is different this time, but home sellers, they're outnumbered buyers by 300 or 530,000, the largest gap ever recorded. I mean, there's just no buyers out there. And so eventually the price is just going to keep coming down, and then buyers are going to warm up to it. And a lot of people say, well, if the interest rates come down, well, that'll help. But the problem is the price of homes is too high. And that's just a generalized statement. That's not everywhere. There's certain markets that are, I know here in Nashville, south of Nashville, the residential has held up, but it's still declining, but not at this fast a rate. I know a lot of the Midwest, like Ohio and some of the Midwest states, they're still doing fairly well, because they didn't get so overblown. And everybody came to the South, right? And that ran prices up. Well, that's starting to change, starting to turn back the other way. Real estate's going to really take it. It's going to get hit harder, in my opinion. I saw this too, foreclosures. This is an interesting trend because remember we had 08, 09, and this is just picking up in 2014. We had 121,000-ish foreclosures, and then we went down. We started declining. We kind of worked through that, had a little jump up, and then we really fell down in 2020, 2021. But since 2022, it's been ticking back up. And so Q4 of last year was 58,000. I think you're going to see this number really start to jump. I hope not. I've lived through that. It's not good, but in this chart really says it all right here. We're starting to trend back this way. And if the jobs keep doing what they're doing, it's not a good thing. People are losing jobs, and I've got some posts on that as well. Right here, U.S. records the lowest job growth in 2025 for a non-recession year since 2003. I mean, jobs aren't looking good, especially tech jobs. I didn't think there was ever going to come a day when I would think that tech jobs would be getting hit this hard. I've had so much work over my career, and of course, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't work for anyone else but myself. But I never would have thought that having a tech degree or getting a tech degree or being in tech would be, you would be out of a job. And I got more data on that. Here's job creation in 2025. And this stuff's been revised. I mean, I don't know what's so hard about them figuring out what the actual number is. So like in January, they reported 111,000 and they revised it down to 48,000. I mean, how can you be off that much? I mean, that's like half. How do you, I guess if the government's involved, Bureau of Labor Statistics, they don't do much of anything very well, except for maybe the military. And I even question that, if they even do that very well. So yeah, layoffs are skyrocketing in the U.S. Excluding government, announced 107,000 job cuts in January, the highest count for the month since 2009 and the great financial crisis. It's just taking it on the chin right now. 6-month average of layoff, excluding the government, jumped 80,000. So yeah, I think you're going to start seeing it with AI. It's more and more. We're seeing more and more because AI can do a lot of stuff for a lot less money. I saw this too. We're at the highest level credit card debt ever recorded. $1.28 trillion. The highest in history. I mean, we just can't help ourselves. We credit, it's going to kill us. And then we have this from Kobisi Letter. I don't know if you subscribe to Kobisi Letter, but they're probably one of the most reputable accounts out on X. They're skyrocketing. They rose 0.3% in Q4 2025 to 12.7%. Just ridiculous. Since 2022, serious credit card delinquencies have risen 5.1 percentage point, a larger increase than the 08-09. That's not good. That's really not good. And there's this chart here, 90 days past due, credit cards skyrocketing. Pretty much since 2023 is when it really started going up. And then you can see here, this last peak was back in the 08-09. Just not good. Then I saw this Global World Uncertainty Index has just reached an all-time high. I didn't even know this even existed. Never even heard of the Global World Uncertainty Index. Reached an all-time high, which would explain why gold and silver are doing what they're doing. Let's go check out gold and silver while we're at it here. I was doing that earlier. So gold, let's get on the hourly. So this is a good chart right here. What this tells me, I mean, look, we've got a strong bull indicator right here. This is on the 1 hour. And if you look at this, we had this big sell-off event, and then we've been making not so much higher highs, but higher lows. This is a good sign to me. This tells me that, it's wanting, there's a little indicator that's flickering, wanting to go red. Must be, yep, there you see it flickering back and forth there. You'll see it pop in. Yep, there it is. It can't decide whether it's going to be bear or not bear, which probably means it's going bear. But when you've got this much chop, that tells me we're probably going to be due for a leg up. And if stuff happens on the other end of the planet with Iran and Trump and that stuff, that could change things. That could make gold and silver really go on a move. And let's look at silver. Silver's not quite as strong as gold. Very similar though. Not huge difference, but gold is holding its head up a little higher than silver. But look, gold, it's store of value and jewelry. Those are the two big things you're going to get out of gold. Silver has tons of use case. I talk about this in my video. I didn't realize it, but the industrial demand, use, consumption, The industrial consumption for silver is 50%. Of all the silver we mine, half of it goes for industrial consumption. So it's got a lot of use cases. These tech companies, and I don't want to spoil the video coming out tomorrow, but you're going up against the industrialized segment of the world that's trying to get their hands on silver. And unfortunately, us stackers, we're kind of dictated by the paper market and what happens there. And so the price has gone up so much on futures and paper that, we're just, unfortunately, we want to go buy our 1 ounce round or our American Eagle. We've got to pay the premium for it, unfortunately. So, yeah, silver's trying to hold its head up. Platinum. I mean, all these metals are really mimicking each other right now. Let's see what copper's doing. Copper actually, it's similar, but it's still holding its head up high pretty well. Oil, let's see what oil's doing. Chopping along. So all of these commodities in through here. Let's see what the gold-silver ratio is. 61. For those of you who don't know, the gold-silver ratio is how many ounces of silver will it take to acquire 1 ounce of gold. And so with this, it's 61. 61 ounces of silver to get 1 ounce of gold. If you went and swapped your silver in for gold a couple weeks ago when we had that, right before that sell-off, when we got into the 100s or the 110, 120, you did well. You did very well. This is Josh Fair. I don't know if you guys know who Josh Fair is. He is the CEO of Scottsdale Mint. That's where I get most of my silver and gold is from Scottsdale Mint. Their quality is exceptional. Service is off the charts. Not necessarily the lowest price. You can find some deals on things if you know how to dig through the site, but Monument Metals seems to have the overall best price, but doesn't have their inventory comes and goes a lot. Their inventory's in flux, and right now all of the inventories are in flux. Just there's been so much demand. SD Bullion, I use them. Those are the main ones that I use, but I follow Josh Scottsdale Mint. He's been getting a lot of airtime lately because he's runs one of the biggest mints in the United States, or one of the most popular mints anyway. Then I saw this. This kind of relates to, we were talking about this earlier. The first they stopped paying their credit cards, then they stopped paying their mortgage. Then we see more short sale and foreclosures. So, and this guy's a real estate agent or a broker down in Florida that I follow. And that's kind of what I'm worried about. When you start seeing people get laid off and in these mass numbers, it's not easy to go back out and find a job. And if you've ever been in that situation, you know firsthand. And so you don't have that income coming in, but you've got all these bills piling up. What do? You stop paying the credit cards first, right? You got to have your house. And then I guess you stop paying the car. And then after that, you stop paying the house. And then you're done. Not much you could do at that point, right? It's game over. So stock market, we actually did okay. I mean, there was a point today that we were it was nasty. It was not good at all. It's ugly. Very ugly. But we've seemed to have pulled out of it. The Dow finished up 26, the NASDAQ down 39. So it ended up being a decent day. I saw this. Tariff revenue soars more than 300% as U.S. awaits Supreme Court decision. That's another thing. That they were supposed to make a decision on this weeks ago, a month ago. I thought it was right after the first of the year, and it didn't happen. And so here we are about to get, I mean, part of me thinks that if they do say it's unlawful, or if they overturn the tariffs, that the stock market and all those assets will boom. because it takes out the uncertainty with the tariffs. Because it seems like every time Trump does something with the tariff, or he says, I'm going to put a tariff on Canada's wine or whatever, or France's wine or whatever he's doing, it seems like the market just doesn't like it. It hasn't gotten used to it yet. As much as I have, I just accept it. But there's no doubt it's pulling in a lot of revenue for the country. I just wish it helped us, me and you. We don't seem to be getting any benefit from it. But I know Trump's talked about giving us money back to go get our own health care. He's talked about just 2,000, 5,000, whatever the number is. I've heard both. Is checks coming back to people, kind of like a refund check, a tariff check. That'd be kind of nice, I guess. But I think all that's going to do is create more inflation. I mean, the whole reason we're in this mess is because we gave Bob a bunch of money. And people went and blew it on all sorts of stuff. I saw this payroll stuff came out today. 130,000 January. More than expected. Unemployment went down to 4.3. I think it was at 4.4. So, but they'll end up revising this. You know, it'll be off by 50, 60,000. They'll come back. Yeah, it's just ridiculous. Futures are steady. And so another thing too is when this stuff happens, let's open up windows here. It just, you're not going to get rate cuts, right? And everybody's wanting rate cuts. Well, if the employment's staying strong, how are you going to get rate cuts? I mean, it's kind of kills the whole momentum of getting rate cuts. Here's the assets by market cap. Gold, running away with it. Nvidia's next closest. It's ridiculous. Silver was there. So silver and Nvidia have been fighting out for number 2 here. They've been going back and forth. I'm sure we're going to see silver pass it up again. It got up over 6 trillion. And then we had that big sell-off. It just was not good. Steven, you still with us? Hit me in the chat if you are. Our Oklahoma City crowd. That's pretty cool, man. I appreciate you dropping in. Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. I wish I could give like super thanks back. You deserve something special for being my first. Got into this YouTube stuff back in September, and I didn't, everything I've ever done is not, it hasn't been instant, it's just been a slow grind in every business I've started. And this is no different, but I'm very patient and am a never give up kind of person. So I'll keep grinding it out. And I'll keep doing these live streams because eventually they'll catch on and we'll get a crowd in here. But I appreciate you being in here. Gives me some purpose. What else do you want to hear? What else do you want to know my opinion on? We've talked real estate. We've talked gold, silver. We talked about corn, old Bitcoin, old corn. Yeah, I'm nibbling at some corn right now, a little bit. Are you nibbling on some Bitcoin? Or are you just chilling, waiting to see what it's going to do, if it's going to get momentum or chill or go down some more? Are you looking for an ultimate bottom signal? I guess we need Jim Cramer to say Bitcoin is complete trash, and then it'll fly. Whatever he says is the joke. It's the opposite of what he says. Yeah, here's another one too. I don't know if you're into altcoins at all, but like I said, I'm into. You got some and you got some in 20 holding right now. What do you mean? Got some in 20 and 2020? Got some in 20. Not really following you there. Ah, oh yeah. Oh yeah, so you got it before it made the run up to like 59 something 60 and then came back down then went back up to 69. So you haven't bought any since 2020, I guess? You just been holding on that since 2020? Man, you're a lot stronger than me. I I got some, yeah, just holding. Hey, hodl, man. Nothing wrong with that. Because here's the deal. One thing that I've learned over the years is you're better off just holding. I mean, if long term has never failed anybody. Because over time, these assets do go up and to the right. And people get these lettuce hands and they just can't help themselves. They see it go down just one little bit and it's sell, 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 sell. Have you been into gold and silver? Are you new or considering it? You hold all? If you've been watching my videos lately, you'll know I'm not prejudiced against any of them. We get these metal heads that come in and all the gold bugs and silver people that are, anti-Bitcoin. And I've had to post some videos on that. And then you get the Bitcoin people. Both sides are just as bad. The Bitcoin people say, who's going to be using gold and silver as currency, but all of them are good for their own reasons. Small amounts. I hear you. Yeah, picking away at it. See, what I've started doing is, but when Bitcoin was at 100, 120, 126, when it hit an all-time high, I was into the metals, right? Because they were going up, but they weren't doing what they're doing now. And so I've started kind of pitting them against each other. I like them all, but like right now, I really like Bitcoin, and I think the 50 is probably the floor. That's when you start looking at the charts and the data. There's not going to be that much more selling after that point. I mean, all the retail, all the panic people are gone out of the market. So I like pitting these against each other. So I was buying gold and silver when Bitcoin is laying off the Bitcoin. It's just getting so high. And then it's flipped, right? Now all the gold and silver people are just laughing at the Bitcoin. All you people are it's going to zero and it's done, and try to tell y'all, wouldn't listen, all that. Well, I got news for you. Just hold my beer. Watch this. Bitcoin's going to flip a switch in a moment's notice when nobody expects it. And so then I'll start looking. So whatever one's weak is the one that I'll dollar cost average into. Just kind of pick around. And I've thought about getting some more gold and silver here, but now that it's chopping, because when you look at these charts, these are strong. I know we come down and that's not strong, but when you start seeing this chopping along right here, we're going from, what are we at here? We got back down to like 64, and now we're at 83, and we're just climbing out of it slowly but surely. It's a little weak here in just the past day or so, but this is not bad. It's consolidating, and that tells me we're going to hit another leg up. And the same with gold. I think gold is a little, when you look at it, gold's just a little more solid. And then this tells us the gold-silver ratio. That tells us a lot right there. When that number's ticking back up, that means gold's strong. So if you said, hey, You got $1,000 right now and you can only buy gold or silver, I'm buying gold right this moment. But I could easily go with some silver too. And the reason why is because there's so much. It's just the psychological effect of the money, right? I mean, you're talking. So we're at a spot value. This is futures. So spots. I think right now. Let's see. Let's look it up. I don't even. Was I even on? Were you even seeing the charts? You probably weren't. You probably weren't seeing the charts, were you? I like going here and just checking out the silver rounds. Like this 91. So when you compare what are we above? So we're about $8 above, roughly. I mean, that's just a strong premium. So like this Scottsdale Buffalo Girl, I like it a lot. That's a good one. If you want the most silver for your money, this Scottsdale Buffalo Girl, this Scottsdale Reserve Round. I've got a few of these tombstones, these hammer tombstones, but they just recently went out of stock. And I really, really like the Cowboy Rifleman and the Cowboy Buffalo Privy. I've got a good bit of those. They're usually the same price, but let me tell you something, man. Those things are beautiful. The quality is unmatched. These things the detail is so good. And then this Buffalo, and then they've got the 5-ounce versions of them. So these are 5, and those things are, I mean, they're that big around, and they're beautiful. Heavy, got that 5 ounces in your hand. I remember getting those in the 200s. And now, look at it. You're $450. But when you do the math, you're almost better off. I think it's actually cheaper. So you just got to run the math, right? So let's see. Like if we got this Buffalo, let's see this Buffalo Girl. This Buffalo Girl, that's another pretty round right there. So let's do some math. So if we bought 91 at this current price times 5, that's $456.90 for 5 of those. So for 5 ounces. Now they don't sell that. Well, let's just do this. Let's go with the Rifleman, and let's go 91.38 times 5 of those. That's not even different. $456.90. And then if we look at this Rifleman right here, they've matched it the same. Yeah, it's 2 cents. So it's 2 pennies better to get the 1 ounce round than it is to get the 5 ounce round. But I have some of these. I've got a few of these. I've got a good bit of those. And I've got a couple of those. And I've got some of these Buffalo Girls. I wish they would make that in a 5 ounce round. There's just something about a 5 ounce round. That weight, it feels good. And I do have some of these Eagle stackers. But the problem is that you get this 1 ounce Eagle stacker. It's $93.38. And, if you're looking to stack for the lowest price, excuse me, I just skip it. Those were a good value at one point. And they're nice. They're cool. They interlock. And so, but, I've just been focusing on getting the most silver for the money. And I guess if you really wanted to do that, if you start looking here, this stuff's out of stock. I mean, it's crazy the amount of stuff that's out of stock. Heck, this Scottsdale stacker, this and this are essentially the same thing. It's just different designs. That's the Scottsdale Lion. And then here's the Eagle, the Scottsdale Eagle. I don't have any of the Lions, but I have the Eagles. But all this stuff's out of stock. That wasn't that way not long ago. This Tombstone, you could have bought those for days. This Scottsdale Omnia Type 2, heck, it's $91.88. This must be new. I might have to look into getting a few of those. Huh. Their stuff's good quality. But when it comes to rounds, I mean, I got a ton of these guys. And this is from these are from 2020. They've minted these a long time ago. They still, 2020. They still have them. They're pretty too. They're real nice to put in your hand. And then here's their 2024 version, and they've been out of these because I wanted to get some of those, but they haven't had them in stock forever. So those are my favorite things right here to get in silver. The Scottsdale Buffalo Girl, the Scottsdale Reserve Round, the Tombstone but out of stock, the Rifleman, awesome, the Cowboy Buffalo Privy, awesome, and then the 5-ounce version of both. I wouldn't get this antique round. It's just you're paying a premium and it's out of stock anyway. So, but these two guys right here, that 5-ounce and that 5-ounce, those things are pretty cool. And look, you're better off getting the Rifleman because it's $456.92. And look, this is how you can shop for some pretty good deals. Let's go look at gold. Let's filter it by less than an ounce. A lot of this stuff's been wiped out. Wow. Crazy. All of this stuff out of stock. People are going and getting it. Amazing. Anything 1/10 of an ounce, it's hard to get. I got one of these not long ago. You pay a higher premium for it because it's a 1/10. It's not really the best buy. You bet, Steve. See you, man. Thanks for coming in the live chat. I appreciate you being part of the channel. I'll see you on the next one. If you're new here and you come into the live stream, I see I have 2 concurrent viewers right now. Hit me on the chat. Let me know where you're from. I wish YouTube would tell me where my viewers are coming from. Be nice to know. Been live for 52 minutes. So I covered the news. We talked about real estate. We talked about gold. We talked about silver. We talked about Bitcoin. We talked about real estate. Talked about the market in general. Steven from Oklahoma City had some good questions. He's new. He's been here for about 3 weeks from Oklahoma City. He came in on my ice coverage when we had the ice storm here in Nashville. Well, I'm going to wrap it up on this live stream. It's been almost an hour. I appreciate y'all coming through the channel. Remember, Wednesdays, 7 o'clock Central, we're moving into the evening. So far, the move from 2 in the afternoon Central to 7 Central in the evening has been a good move because we had Steven in here. And I appreciate it. So we're going to wrap it up today, guys. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I got a video coming out tomorrow. Live streams Wednesday, 7 o'clock Central Time, p.m. Be here. Do live Q&A. Answer any questions. Go over Bitcoin. Give you my take on things. And we'll let you know. Gen X Guy out. See ya. Bye.